Hello everyone and welcome to Nerd Goblin Art. I'm Lula. Right then, this is a video for the breast cancer awareness collaboration, which has been arranged by Donna from Art by Donna. So I'm going to be creating a piece of art basically that I'm hoping is going to give a kind of a message. I'm going to be using Aquacast, and I've got some colours all in pinks because that is, I believe it's the official colour of the breast cancer awareness. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to add colours, we're going to add glitter, and hopefully what I create is going to be a good message. I've got a mixture of some mica powders. Now, putting the mica powders on as I am with the glitter and then pouring in the Aquacast, it's going to give what a lot of folk are calling a geode type effect. And I'm not being worried about how it falls. It is supposed to cause almost like a crack, yeah, inside the piece. And I'm going to add a little bit of the Hemway glitter as well. The chunky glitter I found from Temu. And this one is a liquid acrylic and it is a pearlescent sort. And I'm also going to be using an actual J. Diction resin crete from the Resin Crete range, and that's got a really cool effect with UV lighting as well, where it will glow up really nicely. So I'm not mixing the colour in absolutely thoroughly for the tray piece. I want to have like a marbling effect. I want the two tones of the pinks in there swirled in with some white, just as I'm doing here. And of course, it is a thicker mixture. I don't tend to use measuring scales at all because I prefer doing it by sight and feel. So I'm also adding into this piece. Now, I think this is potentially a sugarcraft mould. I found it on Temu, as we do many of our moulds, and you'll see it when we demold it. I'll explain it more when it's demolded, but I'm just making absolutely sure that I'm giving it a shake, giving it a wobble, and I also used a silicone tool to encourage any bubbles to come up because there's quite a bit of detail on the butterfly. And I've also got a heart-shaped tea light holder, and it's very, very nice. So this is all part of it together, and again you can see me giving it a really good wobble, and any leftover I'm using in my puffy heart mould, which you can see here. Now it only takes about 45 minutes for the cure, but I also once I have demolded, I move them onto a cake rack and allow them to fully cure, to cure for a good 24 hours before I do any more work to them. So I've demolded all the hats and they've come out lovely. And next is the candle holder, which I'm really pleased with. It's a nice pinky colour, not as much the marble in here because by the time I got it all squeezed in there, it kind of mushed up a bit. So I'm going to take this lady out first, and being careful because there are bits and there's bubbles and stuff. So as you can see, there's a butterfly covering this lady's eyes and she's holding her finger across her lips. Now there is a little bit of sanding for me to do because there's a few bubbles, but that's absolutely fine. I'm good with that. We can get that sorted. Now the idea of my piece is not keeping it secret. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it is national, so it's all over. I do know that 55,000 people are diagnosed in the UK with breast cancer, and it is the most common in people over the age of 50, but it does affect people under that age group. And I've unfortunately known a few, and I'm 43, and it's sad, it's awful, and it needs to be talked about, and women need to be checking themselves, even if it's once a month. Maybe put it in your calendar. Once a month in the shower. That's a really good place actually for you to check, and it's simply done. There are videos that you can watch online, and I will share one from Macmillan, which is a cancer charity here in the UK. But same, the information still matters, but I'm gonna link that in my description box, and it's information from an oncologist, and she can tell you about breast cancer. She can tell you the causes, what to look out for. She can tell you how to look for it, and the most important thing is, if you're concerned, get checked out. Regardless, it doesn't matter. A doctor isn't going to mind if you've come in and you're concerned about something and say it is a fatty lump. They will take you seriously. Well, the hope is that they will take you seriously. But the important thing is that you know and understand what to look for. And without paying attention, like this lady whose eyes are covered and covering her mouth, without talking about it, it doesn't mean it's going to go away. It will crack, it will break the foundations of your world, and it will continue to if it isn't talked about. I need a bit of magic here, guys, because I'm going to use some UV resin to add some crushed pebbles to this piece in the parts that are cracked open. So you see where I'm going with this piece. It's important. It is so important that you are checking your breasts for unusual changes, and it's the best thing you can do is find it early. Even if you're transgender, even if you're non-binary, you should check. And men can also have breast cancer. So let's talk about that too. Let's talk about all of it. It's what is needed. I talk about mental health all the time, and believe me, the anxiety, the concern and those thoughts of finding something and wondering how I would react, if, for me, if I was in the shower and checking and I felt something. Does it matter as long as it's found and the treatment gets there? That's what we need to do, and it's what we all need to be talking about. We all need to be honest and talk about it, and don't be embarrassed by it. If you're not sure, find your person, talk to that person, whether it's your partner, whether it's your mother, your daughter. It's important. So check yourselves. Talking about it is also important because it is a historical family thing. So if somebody in your family has had breast cancer, there is a higher possibility that you yourself could. So again, this is why I want to talk about personally about talking about it and being honest about it, and not to be afraid of the word. It is a word, it can't hurt you. Just as it can't hurt you to check. The only thing the checking can do is alert you to changes in your body and things that may need to be checked over by a professional, and then you can go from there. So that's what my piece is about. When I think about breast cancer, I think about how often people shut down, and showing a piece with a lady covering her mouth and having her eyes covered by a butterfly, to me it speaks in an odd way, but it does speak. So the tray is representative of the cracks in the breaks that can be formed by not talking about it, and by the ruins that can be caused, in a way. Look at it lighting up as well. I really like that it lights up. So there we go. I think it's interesting, and I think there's a message there. There is a collaboration playlist listed down below, so I do hope that you check it out. And if you are in the premiere right now, I will have linked who's following me, and that is Marie-Louise Art. I'm sure that she is going to create something pretty wonderfully beautiful. So check that out in the playlist down below. I'm going to add some tattoos to the puffy hearts. So I hope you're inspired. Love you, and stay wonderfully weird.
Her fingers dance like spiders spin, crafting worlds from deep within, with resin drips and clay that bends, a goblin's touch that never ends. She's the whimsical nerd goblin, casting spells and always wobbling. Spooky sparks in the Halloween air, weird and wild without a care.